Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Mark Morris. Thanks for clicking. Today I want to talk about a record that a young YouTuber by the name of Sam St. John, he goes by Americana Sam now. I'll link to him below. He turned me on to this record. I meant to make a video this weekend, but what happened was Saturday morning I started playing a record, and I didn't stop playing records until Sunday evening. I didn't get a lot done this weekend, but it's never a bad way to spend a weekend. I felt like Steve from A is for Alice, B is for Bob. You remember how he used to pull out all the stuff he listened to throughout the week, and he'd say, this is what I listened to on Monday, and then he'd pull out a stack of 50 records and 20 CDs and cassette tape. That's kind of how I felt this weekend. But today what I'm here to talk about is this Real Gun Music re-release from this 1957 album called Ghost Ballads, sung by Dean Gitter, Gitter. It's a very interesting album. It's not one that most people will probably be interested in, but Real Gun Music tends to re-release things that maybe not super digested by the masses. One thing interesting about this album cover, which is the original album cover, is that it was done by Charles Addams. Charles Addams, famous for the Addams Family cartoon, and then which later became a TV series and later translated into movies. So I thought that was interesting that that's a Charles Addams thing. So Ghost Ballads is just what it says. It's a lot of ghost ballads. Most of them are pretty old. Some are from the 20th century, but some of them are hundreds of years old. I've actually listened to it a lot more than I expected to. I've probably listened to it 4 times since I got it yesterday. I've listened to it a lot. It comes on this spooky vinyl. I guess that's probably some ectoplasm or something caught in the vinyl there. Just super cool. And it's just about what you would think from a 1957 album with a singer, a guitar player singing ghost ballads. It reminds me of when I was in elementary school and the music teacher would come in and she'd bring in that big old bulky, I wouldn't call them turntables, phonographs, and they'd put the arm down and you'd listen to the song before you sang it. This reminds me of that. Not only the type of song, but the recording it's let's just say it's not like a Steven Wilson remix or anything. It seems a little primitive, but it sounds great for what it is. One of the things I like about this album is it's not as cheesy as you might think it is. I mean, I was expecting a lot more spooky tales and stuff, and there are some, and there's also some silly tales. But what I like best about this album is the kind of mournful tone of a lot of the songs. I'm going to highlight one here in a second, but let me show you the playlist. There's a lot of songs about not the ghost coming back to haunt you, but the ghost coming back to help out somebody grieving for them, or to say, hey, enough is enough already. There's kind of there's a great theme in this album, and I'm going to highlight one of the songs right now. One of the songs on here is called The Unquiet Grave, and let me read a little bit about it. Aside from its exquisite poetry and time, this ballad is notable for its exhibition of the universally popular belief that excessive grief on the part of mourners disturbs the peace of the dead. The young man in this ballad doesn't know when to stop crying, and the very dead young lady has to remind him that she is really going no place for a very long time. I want to play a little section of this just to give you the mood. So here's a little bit of The Unquiet Grave. So there you got a taste of The Unquiet Grave. I particularly like some of the lyrics in that. I picked that little section because I like the lyrics about her describing her vile breath and everything, but I love that mournful tone. Anyway, it's a real fun album. There's a song on here called Finnegan's Wake, and any student of literature will remember Finnegan's Wake as a classic by James Joyce. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, I wonder if this has anything to do with the book. But let me read you what it says. Finnegan's Wake. The song provided James Joyce with the title of his famous book, which adds a literary and historical interest having nothing to do with the song itself. Joyce, with clearly satirical intent, used the dead but resurrected Finnegan as a symbolic of Ireland herself. So I thought that was a little interesting. Anyway, this is Ghost Ballads, sung by Dean Gitter. It just came out on Real Gone Music. Thank you, Sam, for bringing it to my attention. I also wanted to comment on today the big news about the Beatles Anthology. They have decided that you can buy Anthology 4 all by itself. So before they were, if you wanted Anthology 4, you had to buy the whole set. Today they announced you can now buy it by itself. So those of us who already have Anthology 1, 2, and 3 don't have to buy all those records again just to get Anthology 4. So I did pre-order Anthology 4, as I said I would do if they ever did that. So I'm happy about that. I wanted to make a little announcement about that since I mentioned it in an earlier video, but I have pre-ordered it. Anyway, thanks for listening to me about this. I'll be going into more traditional records here in the near future, but with Halloween coming, I felt this was appropriate to talk about. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.